Hey friends, it's Michelle and it's August 11th and I'm here with Garden Jargon at the Batavia Community Garden. And my apologies that I have not been out here for over a week. I skipped this week's weekly check-in because I was working at my real job, the one that pays me money, paper money. I was working at that job this week for over 5 days in a row, which has been very taxing, especially when all I want to do is be in a garden. So I was not able to shoot any content at Ginger Creek this week, Batavia Community Garden this week, or my personal garden this week because I haven't had time to be in the garden. So it is August 11th. We have just had, the last 2 or 3 days have been full of pretty angry storms. I have to say, I feel very blessed that I have not seen any damage to my knowledge out here on any of the storms that have come through. And I'm out here just kind of harvesting the tomatoes that are getting ready to be full bloom, or not full bloom, but ready to pick at the red stage. But I'm also picking them as they're blushed, because when you get a lot of rain, the tomatoes split and they pop open. And they'll sit on the vine, which is fine, but then the flies and the bugs and the bees get it, and then they're just not salvageable unless you're coming out that day and getting them and chopping them and making something out of them. So I wanted to harvest all of those and kind of do a quick walkthrough with you in the garden today. This is the first time I've seen this garden in about 5 days. So, oh, hi Bunny. Hi, nice to see ya. Don't mind me, little rabbit. Let's see him. See if he holds still, he doesn't think you can see him. He's right there. He's our little garden bunny. That little guy. Yeah. Whatever. He's probably eating something like to no end, and I don't even care at this point. So Mark, if you're watching, get your butt out here and harvest some of this stuff. This is pretty incredible garden stuff you got going on. Your pumpkin's giant. Look at our pumpkin back here. See him? That's Jimmy. He's gonna be as big as my car. So let's walk through here really quick and see what we got. Sunflowers. Peppers need to be harvested. I haven't had time. They're not even staked up or held up, so if a big storm comes through, we're probably going to have a big mess. Herbs look great. I'm going to pick some of that peppermint, obviously. I picked a whole bin of cucumbers today. I'll show you what I have in my car. You're not even going to believe it. And what's crazy is these are burpee plants that we got donated to us from Schaefer Greenhouse. And they are a pickling cucumber, I think. Yes. This one. It's probably backwards because the way I use the camera. Pickling cucumbers by Burpee. I love them. I love them because you can pick them really small and they're tasty. And when they're really big, they're still really tasty. So I'm going to make sure I leave one on the vine of that variety till it turns orange and yellow, like the ones you forget at the bottom that you forget to pick, because I can seed that one, dry those seeds, and use those seeds next year to grow new cucumbers. I harvested all the tomatoes in all of our rows. As you see, we got our trellises up. This is just 6-foot welded wire fencing. I bought a 100-foot roll of this stuff, the 7-foot T-post, and now our tomatoes have a trellis wall to be tied up against so they don't tip over. So I feel really bad because these tomatoes did not get in the ground until June 22nd, which was super late, but we didn't have our gardens ready, so we couldn't put anything in the ground yet. This whole group of tomatoes here is our determinate varieties, and that they're starting to blush. There's a bunch of red ones in there, so thank God those come out punching quicker than like heirloom tomatoes. I picked 2 whole bins of squash, zucchini. Man, I cannot get to it fast enough. The zucchinis I'm picking are as big as my arms. They're huge. And you know what? If people are smart, they're going to know that they can make brownies out of those. They can make zoodles out of those. They can make zucchini lasagna out of that. They can make zucchini bread. So don't hate on the big zucchinis. Trust me. I just found an amazing recipe for zucchini bread that uses 5 cups of zucchinis in 1 loaf of bread. It's amazing. I gave it to both my neighbors and they both loved it. So at least it's a really good variety that I found. More peppers here. That second bed there is brassicas. Obviously, I'm letting that all go to seed, which it has flowered and gone to seed. And I'm going to harvest the seeds out of there so that we can plant them. I have 5 trays at home of brassicas started already, because when we had Home Depot out here in the Rotary Club, we built this to plant fall harvest stuff, as well as these beds behind me, and then the one over there in the very back. And then at the end of this bed, on the left side there, well, if you're looking that way, it's the right side. At the end on the right, there's a whole plot that Craig purchased for the year, but he did not plant anything. I asked him if we could use his garden to plant fall stuff and he'd have a free plot next year, and he said yes, please. So we're gonna go ahead and plant that also with more brassicas, which is your kales, broccolis, cauliflower, cabbages, Brussels sprouts, chards, rainbow chards, and what else? Oh, some root stuff like beets and carrots and stuff. This is just one small basket of what we've harvested. Let me flip. This whole bin is full of cucumbers. That's all squash in there. That is from Ginger Creek a couple days ago. And hold on one second. So I gotta put this bin of tomatoes in my car truck so I can open my trunk. Look at that, guys. Holy cow. Can't even believe it. Actually, I shredded one of these up in my food processor yesterday and made zucchini bread with it. So I didn't have a full zucchini, so I ground one of these up, put it in my zucchini bread. Tons of tomatoes. This is actually Tina's bin. This is out of Tina's whole entire garden. I'm house sitting her dogs. Well, I guess that would be called dog sitting. Tina is a renter here and a very dear friend of mine from church. So she helps us at the Ginger Creek Church garden, as well as she helps with this one when she's not traveling to like tropical islands and stuff. So she has her own plot here, and I wanted to pick some of that stuff for her before it splits. Some of her tomatoes had split already because it did rain, and they pop open in some kind of way big time when they're ready to harvest. So let me just take one more walk through here. All of my zinnias popped open back here. I came through here this morning because my boss just got back from maternity leave. Look at all Mark's tomatoes. Got all these tomatoes ready to harvest. I'm flipping you around. Oh, my zinnias. All of these guys. These were all direct sown, and I do notice a huge difference if you direct sow them versus you start them in pots at your house. That's beautiful. And the more you cut them, the more they come back, which is awesome. This is a beautiful color. I did not bring out any of my fancy ones like the Queen's Lime Red, the Queen's Lime Pink, Queen's Lime Orange. That's a pretty one back there too. I love when I find bumblebees sleeping on these. And then those are my sunflowers. They have not opened yet, but that is mammoth sunflowers. And they're getting there. Look at Annie's sunflowers. It's insane. Those, I'm 5'6", and those are clearly 10 feet tall already. Let's see if I can get close. Here, let's get you in there, nice and close. Hold on. Nope. There we go. Little busy bee doing his job. I'm way down here. Fancy camera work, wouldn't you say? And look at our new pumpkins over here. These are fancy. Let's not zoom in now. Holy cow. That's one massive pumpkin. Oh, pretty cool. Oh, we finally got a new baby on that one. We had a pumpkin on this second vine over here at one point, but it did not germinate and it rotted. So we have one pumpkin on that side and then one pumpkin over here on this side. But this is the second in the running, and Tom is out here taking care of these babies and moving the vines around and taking care of them. These are the Batavia Community Garden squash, a bunch of squash here. I don't know what that is. That's some kind of squash that got mixed in with the zucchini squash. So I planted it, but I did not realize it was vining. So it is, it's vining, and it was going all over the place. So I just ran it through these sunflowers. And what else? I think that's pretty much it. Our potatoes are still in here. Letting those get bigger, more squash. This is an L shape of squash here. I just harvested all of those. This is some kind of like patty pan or something. What is that? Acorn squash, actually. This is patty pans. I just picked a 7-inch patty pan off of there. That's another kind of vining squash. There's a baby one in there. This, I believe, is some zucchinis as well. They're looking really yellow, so I bet you they need a little bit of nitrogen. Our little zinnia patch here in the center of our garden. More peppers to harvest. Green beans are now flowering, thank God. They have not been flowering. This is where the rabbit lives. He's in here. He lives in here all the time. Eggplants I harvested. And that's all I got. You saw that sky, huh? It's pretty nasty out here. It's like 1,000 degrees and 8,500% humidity. So I'm a hot mess. I just need to get over to the Ginger Creek Garden and help Bridget do a little harvest over there. So my apologies for not doing a video this past week here at Batavia Community Garden. I appreciate you guys watching and following along with our progress. I will post, once I turn this produce in, I will post a number of how many pounds of produce we've already given to the Interfaith Food Pantry down there with Eileen, and I'll put it in my Facebook. So I always put this video on my YouTube channel in my Facebook page, so that's where I'll put some information. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Please like and share. It really helps support my channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. I try to post a video every Wednesday in this garden. So you guys take care and God bless.